Welcome back to the IDCAL Caribbean Reality TV Experience. Welcome to Reality with Tree. Here you get the Black Caribbean feminist academic perspective. Right now, we're reviewing Love Island. Ooh, Love Island is getting weird. And all I have to say is that it's a scheme that production, Zach and Todd set up to come with us with the bullshit. Oh my God, I got a headache from this episode. Zach is trying me. Zach is trying my soul. Anyway, let's jump into it. Episode 10, like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so we have the Islanders who have said goodbye to Bea. They break up into their couples, they go chat. Trinity is really broken up. Poor girlie. Gabe and Jen speak, and she's pretty much like, he's sad. I know that bothered her like a little. It had to bother her like at least a little bit. And she was like, yeah, I'm just happy I'm coupled up with him. It was kind of like shocking though to see Gabe looking a little broken up and stuff. Like he didn't express to Bea really how into her he was. I think it was because we saw him just like being a kissing monster around the house. Anyway, so we have Kenzie and Corbin. Sorry, Kenzie and Caleb. She's been asking for a match. She has more in common with him than with Corbin. Caleb is line dancing. And you know, sis is like a longtime dancer. Now, in this episode, you are going to see Kenzie giving us a lesson in how you actually balance two men. I think Sincere needs to take notes. I think we need to take notes if you're interested in balancing couple men, many men's. Follow the Kenzie Bible because Kenzie has those two men. Remember when Mel did this thing in the competition where she was like, kiss Corbin, kiss Sincere, kiss Corbin, kiss Sincere. This is Kenzie in real time, and the only person I heard clock it was Aniyah. So anyway, Eli, I think you're in danger, girl. Love Island, you're in danger. I don't think you're going to get your sweetheart white couple, and I think you realize that. So you jump on the Zach train, but we'll get to that. Don't worry. We have Sol and Sincere. He says he's excited. She says she will be walking on eggshells. Poor girlie. But you get to see her get a little more comfortable in the house. Yo, these men be playing in our heads, but it's this blushing. Sincere was blushing like a whole entire Cheshire cat. He was just like cheesing so bad. Anyway, he loved it. Then we see Mel and Corbin chat. He is telling her she cannot be crashing out over Sol and Sincere. We know that she's always like on the brink of like the worst crash out. She says she's excited while looking like she's about to break down. But it turns out that Corbin is Blasian. Like we knew he had a little Caribbean in him. Yo, I know my Caribbean people. So we find out that he has a little Jamaican in him. We love that. Meanwhile, we have Mel crying in diary a little later on. Aniyah checks in on Sincere, who says he wanted it to be Melanie so bad. This guy. Sincere. Then we have Mel guilt-tripping Saul, crying about how she really likes Sincere, and this is not a game to me. This is not a game to me. Oh my God, she and Saul hug. Then, like, I don't know if it's editing, but the tears like cut off really quickly, and she's like, "So did y'all kiss again?" Oh my God, Mel, get out of my face with that. Like, no, It's too much. We're throwing away the whole of Sunset. We're throwing away Mel, like, done. So we're getting ready for bed. Mel is so sad. She cannot sleep in the room. We know it's kind of like keep on that guilt tripping train, trying to get this guy to feel so sorry for her that maybe he will follow her. It's kind of like a test also. Will you follow me out onto the daybeds like we have seen in other seasons? But no, boo. Sincere is excited. Oh, we have Zach. Zach in bed with Kato. What is in the English water? What is in the British water? Because that conversation, I think every single person was confused. He's like, yeah, you don't want to do too much because if somebody comes in that you really like, you would have done so much already, then it would be strange to turn your head. He's like, oh my God, he's being so weird. But this man, I clock it. This man is playing a real chess game. He has the chessboard in front of him and he's just like shifting. He's shifting pawns. He's calculating every single move. So for him to be thinking like that, it means that he's already anticipating what's to come. Is it wrong of him? Should more people be thinking of that? Zach is clocking that $100,000, like real bad. Real bad. Anyway, while Sincere is kissing away, loving up, Mel is outside. So it's morning time. Aniyah rushes to check on Mel. The other girls check in. She moans away, but Sincere is talking about being excited to see where this goes. So intercutting. Mel says he is everything but his name, and sis, ooh, that's what we've been speaking about. Oh yes, Sincere is in Sincere. But Casey clocks that she slept outside for attention. Yo, we know Sincere don't care. So we have Kata having a conversation with Trinity about her man who was going in circles asking for the thing but not asking for the thing. Trinity is confused. We're all confused. Zach is in his own calculating world. Breakfast is being prepared. Sincere comes in with breakfast. And while he's walking in, Mel is walking out. Then we have Trinity and Bryce having a conversation. Instead of speaking about themselves, they're on people's business. It's all about people's business. She's talking about Sincere lying. Yo, try to figure out what's going on with you and this man who's in this tight line homoerotic relationship with Zach. Please. It was nice to see Trinity hanging out with Saul. Then we see finally Casey pulls Saul for a chat. He checks in with her. She tells him she was interested, but everybody was booed up. And then he was telling her, well, he was interested, but since I was applying so much pressure, he had to like recalibrate. And I think that is absolutely real and justified. He also said that it would take a lot for him to step away from Aniyah. Who would step away from something that is really good? He is not interested in exploring, and that's on him. You know, it's absolutely justified for you to be in a relationship, be attracted to somebody else, and not go pursue that because you so want to protect what you have with that person, especially somebody with an eye who has this like Disney princess upbringing where any little thing can shatter her world, like any little thing could upset her. So he's trying to keep Aniyah's bubble safe, and I respect that. So Casey admits to being attracted to her. So at least that's good. But Casey and this mischievous face of his, oh my God, you never really know what he's thinking. So we have Kenzie having a conversation with Corbin. She's telling him that it was hard last night because she was zoning in, thinking about Corbin while she was kissing Caleb. And I'm like, tricks, 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 tricks. The original playbook is Kenzie. Corbin is asking for kisses again. We know that's what he does. She refuses. He asks for a kiss on the cheek. And then they went over to the kitchen, and then she's like, well, she didn't give him that kiss. And then they went to the kitchen, and she's like, no kiss is crazy. And he's like, huh? I asked you for a kiss. She's like, a kiss on the cheek? Go, yo, she professional. Mm. Kenzie. So he carries her off to Soul Ties and they make out like heavy, 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 heavy. Pig make out way. Hey. So then we see Mel and Kenzie having a chat after. Mel is checking up on Kenzie. She says she's not good. Balancing two men, it's so hard. She says she has strong feelings for Corbin. Of course, she'll say that to Mel because she's trying to get Mel to step away from Corbin so she could really have her cake and eat it too. So she is just like Mel in that they're using their tears to manipulate people into doing what they want to do, kind of like guilt tripping them with tears. So Mel says respectfully that she doesn't want to do anything without Kenzie's permission. Kenzie's like, yes, you have my permission, but it just hurts. Bad girl. Kenzie! Oh, yo, yo. Anyway, so this is where I really say that Zach was skimming up with production because we have Zach and Kata having a strange they're speaking about that strange conversation in bed. It doesn't go anywhere. It's the same thing that he's saying. What if somebody else comes up and you've done things or whatever? So, do you want to give her the D or not? Are you saying I'll give you the D and tie you because the D does tie? I don't know. Tell me, tell me. But this guy is really self-centered. But then production, this is what you did. And I always say when you're looking at cinema or trying to analyze cinema, it is always a question of in comparison to what? So we have Zach and Kata on the bed. They finish the conversation, the dumb conversation. Then they kiss, and then production give them this really beautiful close-up shots, edit, the music, everything is like this is a couple that is in love and it is going somewhere, right? In comparison to KC and Aniyah who are speaking and the conversation gets interrupted. So there you see the intent of production is to interrupt Aniyah and KC in this episode, right? So gets interrupted, got a text, it's time for games. Okay. So the game is they have a ball between them. The couple would have a ball between them. They bring the ball up to their faces, drop it in a canister, go over to eat hot dogs. After that, they go across to a slime pit, get enough slime, drops it into like a bowl, and production and the messy questions ask them to slime somebody with what they have in the bowl. Right? Here we go. So Bryce and Trinity go first. And boy, Zach yelling to Bryce, eat that sausage! Hey! Stop telling on yourself, Zach. The attraction is like so palpable at this point. So the question that they get is which player is carrying the couple? So they slime Caleb. Then we have Kenzie and Caleb. They get the question which player is fumbling the ball. They choose Gabriel, and like because he cannot fully commit to what he is now. Like that doesn't make sense. Who's fumbling? Sincere is fumbling. Anyway, moving right along. We have Aniyah and KC. Aniyah said with that hot dog, you gotta swallow that shit. So they got the question, which player secretly is scouting other options? They slime Corbin. Then we have Mel and Corbin. Zach was fascinated by how Corbin ate that hot dog. Whoosh! But they got which player is the most overrated? And they're like, no reason. And they slime Sincere. Then we get to Keda, Zach, and production. Keda, Zach, and production. Zach nyam the hot dog. Glock. Zach swallowed the hot dog. Oi, oi, oi. Lord have mercy. So then Zach's tongue comes out, yo, and everybody's amazed. Like, I'm like, what Beelzebul? That tongue looked like Beelzebul tongue. So Trinity and Bryce in Diary, Trinity says like, Kenna will have a good time outside of the villa. And Bryce is like, that tongue's crazy. Woo! While Zach is so concerned about Casey pulling Soul for a chat, I think he should be more concerned about pulling Bryce for a chat because this connection might be one of the strongest connections in the house. So Zach and Kata get the question, which players acting like they already won the league? Of course, production put that messy question in there. Set up Zach to be the one to take care of that question. And they slime Casey. Why are we sliming Casey? Because Casey didn't have the guts to pull Saul. Just to be on the safe side. Now, let's finish up the game and I will go in. Jan and Gabrielle go. Zach is still on this hot dog. Which player has been, I think it's caught outside the most, and they're like Sincere because he's so damn sneaky. And then we have Soul and Sincere. Aniyah is pouting. We don't know if it is edited to make it look like Aniyah is mad at Soul. So they get the question, which player is most likely to get booed by the fans? He's Slime Bryce. Anyway, that's it. They head to the villa and we have the foursome. Trinity, them don't even want you in the group. They have the foursome, Zach, Kida, Trinity, and Bryce. They chat about, oh, and I are being upset. Kida is in this performance mode, and I is mad at us. Hey, hey. Speaking on, well, yeah, if Casey wants to pull her for a chat, want to pull Soul for a chat or whatever, he should. I'm like, Zach. But they paid you real good. They paid you real good because you got your really soft edit, have the audience leaning towards you, emotional manipulation through camera action. And then later we will see his real prize. Kayla is like, Aniyah, thanks for taking the dig at her. So Trinity is like silent. I don't think like energetically she's comfortable. And then she's like, yeah, I would have picked y'all if it was me. Anyway, so Aniyah and Casey finally speak. Aniyah asks important questions like, do you feel restricted? You know? She wants to be sure that he's not forcing himself. And he said, no, like, I want this. I want to do this. Right? So then we have Mel having a chat with Corbin. Corbin tells Mel that he did share a kiss with Kenzie. Then we have Caleb chatting with Kenzie, and Caleb tries to pull Kenzie up on the shit that she's doing, balancing the two. And he's like, yeah, he wants to set boundaries, but you can't talk to Kenzie. Kenzie the baddest, okay? He does not know what to expect because he sees her with Corbin all the time. And she's like, yeah, I still want to explore both of you. And let's kiss. So they kiss. So they get ready for the evening. Mel says she wants to force herself to not like Sincere anymore. Bryce and Zach still on Casey's D. About Casey thinks he's so fucked. Ugh. So we have Trinity and Kata chatting again. Trinity speaks on Gabe and Jen. Like they're just like Trinity just around to like talk on people's business. Trinity, I need you to activate. Activate. Mel pulls Corbin. And then we have Aniyah pulling Zach and Kata. Poor Aniyah. Black women, stop allowing your inclinations for like emotional responses to blind you from seeing when people are trying to push your buttons to get a rise out of you, to manipulate you into doing what they want you to do. So you're going to Zach and Kata to speak about this situation. They're the ops. They're really trying to mess up you and Zach because you are the ones who are the primary competition in this. And you're doubting your connection because of the shit that they're pulling. You want the reassurance in the wrong places. So she is telling them that the expedition threw her off or whatever, hurt her feelings. Meanwhile, Casey pulls Saul. He says he was scared to leave something that is good. So production is really like hoping that something comes out of that. And then we have Aniyah going over to pull Casey, and then she's definitely defo in her feelings. She's like, "Why are you cheesing so hard?" And Casey and his facial expressions. Anyway, so they go up to have the conversation. She said she doesn't want to be the safe choice. And it's like, do not confuse my first choice with my safe choice. You're not just a safe choice. You're my top option. And he tells her like blatantly, if he wanted to pursue Saul, he would, you know? And I think that is valid. And him actually speaking to her, and you could actually see that he really wants to protect what he has with Aniyah. And I hope that he sticks to that and stays true to that and don't allow Zach and Productions manipulation to take him off what he has right now. So Aniyah gets up. She says she wants to be in her fields. We still have the foursome chatting. Zach is like, I feel I've caused World War III. Oh, just because the black woman is in her fields does not mean it's World War III, boo. You could say, oh my God, she is so sad. World War III where? World War III in your pants when you see Bryce. How about that? Zach is just a mess. Get this guy out of the house. Kata, I really liked Kata, but now I'm bunching her up with her man because I just can't. I cannot. And then he says, oh, it's the three of us, three couples who are the strongest. And we know that he does not count Trinity and Bryce as like a strong couple. We know that. Anyway, so Kata gets a text. Of course, production will text usually the text gets sent to the person that they want, the person in the couple that they want to go to the hideaway. So Kata gets a text and hideaway. Yo, I like the song, eh? Clap that booty. Clap that booty and hideaway. Hey! But anyway, Zach and Kata go to the hideaway. Zach is ready to give her the D and to tie her down. Sail off to the sunset with $100,000. But your karma, Zach, is coming. You and production. Your karma is coming. Todd! Get Todd out of the villa, please. This was an icky episode for me. I hope it gets better. I hope Aniyah and KC It's fine that you explore, but do not allow people to manipulate you into doing things that you were not initially planning on doing. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is our episode. Drop down in the chat. Tell me what you think about the Zach situation. Do you think I'm wrong that it is Zach and production? I really think that they set that up with Todd to come with us with the bullshit. Anyway, that's it for today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.